This man, Donald Trump, is handing over the personal data of 79 million people to ICE, right? And keep in mind, immigration enforcement just got $150 billion in the big beautiful bill, 30 billion of which is going directly to ICE in their attempts to hire 10,000 additional agents, which will make ICE the largest law enforcement agency in the country. Now, you have to think about how many people they're going to have to interview to hire those 10,000 additional agents, especially if they want to do it in a relatively quick manner. I mean, the people, the ICE agents, they've been covering their faces. It hasn't been a popular job. It hasn't been a popular position for people to just openly seek out. So they're going to have to greatly lower their standards in general to hire that many people at a quick rate. Now we're handing over the information of 79 million people who are Medicaid recipients. And that information that they're going to be getting includes names, home addresses, ethnicities, birth dates, and social security numbers. In their attempts to find undocumented immigrants, they still have access to tens of millions of Americans' information that they don't need access to. There's no good reason for this additional law enforcement agency to have access to our information. So more and more, you can see how that flag, that flag can forever be moved. How that can be kicked down the road. The goalpost can endlessly be pushed forward in terms of whose information they need. And this coming from a large section of the country who, the Tea Party, a lot of what they were running on is rights in that regard. But let's read further. Let's read a little further into the motivation of this. And we already read this information gives ICE the ability to, quote, find the location of aliens. But they're already pushing for 3,000 a day. And again, this is 79 million people. These are everyday Americans that they're having this information that they don't deserve to have, that they do not need to have. There's no good reason for them to have this shit. And I guess that they're I'm trying to I already got it written down, but I'm trying to find where it says in here. They're trying to, be mindful of our rights. So see, here we go. The agreement that they got does not allow ICE officials to download the data. They can't download it. They can just check it out and look at it from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday until September 9th. They can't download the data, but they can memorize it. They can write it down. You know what I'm saying? They can still have access to it and do Lord knows what with it. Quote, they're trying to turn the U.S. they're trying to turn us into immigration agents, said a CMS official. And as we know, as we know this to be true, I don't know even know if you can see it on this, but it says immigrants who are not living in the U.S. legally, as well as some lawfully present immigrants, are not allowed to enroll in the Medicaid program that provides nearly free coverage for health services. Again, if you don't have a social security number, you can't receive that. The only form of Medicaid they can receive is if they have some type of an emergency. If they go into the ER and they spleen hanging out their stomach or some shit like that, or they about to die, so they have to get emergency services, which everybody has the right to get, and Medicaid pays for that. But other than that, they don't have access to these services. So there's not, so even if you just want to target them, this is not really useful because they don't have Medicaid. They don't receive it. But again, you got tens of millions of Americans who got birth certificates and social security numbers who have been here their whole lives, did not migrate from another country, and now ICE has their information. And as I just said, but federal law requires all states to offer emergency Medicaid temporary coverage that pays only for life-saving services in emergency rooms to anyone, including non-U.S. citizens. Emergency Medicaid is often used by immigrants, including those who are lawfully present and those who are not. It's unthinkable that CMS would violate the trust of Medicaid enrollees in this way. But again, this isn't just about immigration. It is not just about that. It's about increasing the authoritarian grip that the Trump, and not just the Trump regime, but that corporate America is pushing. So, again, there's really not much else to go on. This is completely unacceptable. And not a lot of people are talking about it right now, but this is just another move by the current administration to take away our rights and take away our liberties and just our general privacy.
Hey now. Thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and really helps to support what we do here.